When does 293A come in for the first time?
Come in for the first time in 1960.
60.
After the 458 judgment.
Then comes the 1960.
Then comes in, my lord, 69 amendment, which completely prohibits from a corporate donation. Till 60, my lord, there was no regulated field. You can have in your articles of association, etc. 60, it is regulation has been made as to how and how much you can do it.
Sorry, just one clarification with regard to 293A.
My lord.
25,000 rupees applies to both A and B?
Yes. 25,000 rupees.
Applies to both A and B or only to B?
No. To any individual, would your lordship kindly see, my lord? For any political party, to any individual, no, my lord, not
for any political purpose to any individual or body. So political party is separate from individual or body?
No, it can be, my lord,
Both.
for any
It applies to
political,
both.
for any
5,000 and 5% applies to both A and B.
to, my lord, to both.
Because
to
the
both.
way it's way probably you've taken a print out because it's
In any, yes,
it may not be absolutely correct.
my lord. But then it was understood that
there's a comma
there's a
after
comma, my lord.
financial year.
Yes, will.
So that comma will seem to indicate that exceed will apply to both.
It will apply to both, my lord, A and B.
It will apply to both A and
It will apply to both.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yes, my lord.
Otherwise, for political parties, there'll be a complete ban.
Yes,
Ban. It
yes.
is a complete ban.
So
My lord.
they didn't impose a ban, but they said 25,000 or 5%.
Yes, my lord.
Then came the 1969 amendment.
69 amendment, or 6895,
Not apply.
which imposed the complete ban. So, my lord, subsection 3 substituted, deletes the requirement of giving the particulars of the political party.
Just fund.
I'm so sorry.
Even if it's deleted, there is no other requirement. There is no mandate that it should not be disclosed.
Yes, my lord. There was a mandate you must disclose. Now that mandate is gone.
Just fund. The accounts under the Companies Act
Yes, my lord.
are maintained for the purpose of ascertaining the real income.
My lord.
These are different from the income tax account.
Yes.
Normally, under the Companies Act, the tendency is to overstate the profits because then you get more credibility in the market.
Yes, more
You have
funding.
more access to credit.
Yes.
Whereas it's opposite in the income tax act.
Yes, my lord.
There is a tendency
The tendency is to reduce so that you pay less tax.
you save tax. But in this case, even if it is deleted, you have to disclose the amount which has to be paid. 2, there is a requirement for the board of directors resolution to be passed.
My lord.
The boards of directors resolution will contain the name of the political party or may not contain the name of the political. But there is no express bar to not disclose.
No. There is no bar, my lord, but there is no requirement, my lord. If the law has been changed, my lord, a requirement is deleted. Presumption would be it's not required to be disclosed. The interpretation would be, my lord, otherwise, the substitution of section 3 is meaningless, my lord. Substitution of section 3 is, my lord, with a new subsection, that you delete the requirement
What
of
is new subsection 3?
Subsection 3 is, my lord, substituted with on the right hand side.
Page 8.
Page 8, my lordship, all of your
Every
lordship.
company shall disclose in its profit and loss account
Yes, total
the
amount.
amount contributed by it under this section during the financial
That's
year.
all, my lord. I've
In
contributed
fact,
X amount.
The words any
Yes.
is
And any amount or amount.
It just says instead of any, it says total amount contributed by it under this section.
Please, your lordship.
Earlier provision was any amount or amounts contributed by it to any political party during the financial year.
My lord.
The reference to the political party is taken away first in
Please.
182.3.
Yes.
And it just says any amount contributed under this section.
Yes.
Secondly, that what is deleted is giving particulars of the total amount contributed and the name of the party.
Name of the
such
party.
amount
Yes.
has been
So
contributed.
they just say I contributed for political parties X amount.
By inference, it can be implied inference, it can be drawn that the name need not
Need not be disclosed.
Yes, not required. That's the whole purpose of this, my lord. And when your lordship see this,
The party need to be disclosed. No name of the amount to be disclosed.
The total amount.
Not
X
the
amount,
party. Yes.
X amount is to be paid for political.
Acceptable.
X amount is paid for political contributions. That's all, my lord.
You don't
Because 182
merely say
one.
that you merely say that I've contributed 100 crores for political contribution.
That's all.
But you don't have to either give a bifurcation or name the party to whom you are.
Yes, my lord. Yes.
So it becomes now an anonymous.
Completely, my lord. And because you get a tax exemption, 80 GGB, you get the complete tax exemption of whatever you have contributed to political contribution.
Otherwise, it won't be covered by 37.
Yes.
Until somebody claims this.
100%, my lord, to a charitable trust, we get 50%, my lord, under 80G. And there's a cap, my lord, I can contribute only 10% of my income. to the, for a 50%.
Purpose.
There is a cap for a charitable purpose. To political parties, I can contribute any amount and get 100% deduction.
All right, we got that.
Yes, my lord. And proviso lordship has seen, my lord.
Yes.
So now, my lord, lordship may come back to my submission, my lord. This is what the Companies Act amendment has done.
One level,
My lord.
all this has been regulated by statute,
My lord.
right from 1956.
My lord.
The nature of the regulation has been by statute.
My lord.
The only point is this: absent an enabling provision in the statute, namely the Companies Act, no company can donate for political purposes at all,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So though at a certain level or at first blush, this is regulated by statute.
My lord.
What is conferred by statute can be taken away by statute. All right? No implication of a fundamental right can arise. So for instance, just wait a minute.
My lord, my lord.
It may not be against you.
Yes, no, I'm not.
Suppose there was no provision in the 1956 Act
My
at
lord.
all for political contribution. What would be the consequence? Consequence is not that companies are free to donate for political purposes untrammeled by any other provision. The 1956 Act, for the first time, when that enabling provision came, provided, in fact, initially there was a complete ban. 1960 was 5% of the net profits or
Yes.
20,000 rupees.
My lord.
Absent that provision, you could not have contributed at all.
My lord.
Then comes the ban in 1969.
69.
Ban is lifted in 1985.
85.
So though it is a matter of statutory regulation,
Yes.
absent an enabling provision, a company cannot contribute to
My
political
lord.
purposes.
My lord.
So if the constraints subject to which those contributions are permissible are lifted by the legislature,
My lord.
they are amenable to be tested under Article 14.
Article 14. Yes, my lord. And it is manifestly arbitrary, my lord. There are two reasons which are given.
So it's not just a question of what the legislature enacts, it can take away. There's no
it
fundamental
is
right.
not like that, my lord.
But
Yes.
when you are making an
This-
enabling provision
My lord.
for contributions
My lord.
and taking away the restraints on companies,
Yes.
the taking away of those restraints is amenable to be tested.
Is
under
unable to be
Article
tested on manifest arbitrariness, my lord. Because, my lord, there are two objects which are given. To give transparency, I'll show to your lordship that only two objects which are given, my lord, for amending
We have
this.
seen
No,
now.
my lord.
I mean,
My lord, it has-
transparency
my lord,
and other things you
very well,
cannot
lord.
repeat because that your predecessors all argued.
Very well. Lord. So it is amenable to be
But this was
tested.
very valuable because you have given us the complete
My
legislative
lord, I'm
history.
grateful to your lord.
Now, what do we from here?
Now, would your lordship see similar changes in the Income Tax Act?
All right, let's see the income tax.
Yes, my lord. Now, lordship has seen yesterday, Mr. My learned friend Prasad said, one DV, KV has given 1 lakh and that is exempted, my lord, without details. My lord, my submission would be, my lord, when it comes to the scrutiny of the political party's income, my lord, nobody applies its mind. The income tax officer should have said, my lord, you are required to disclose details. Accept cash of 1 kV, my lord, of 1 lakh rupees. Page 5553, my learned friend Mr. Farah showed that, my lord, to your lordships. And that is accepted. And the Electoral Bond Trust, my lord, I'll invite your lordship's attention as it came, my lord. It was introduced to keep the identity of the donor, my lord, which is being said corporate houses to be secret, my lord, not to go in public domain, etc. The purpose of one of these things is said that has been taken care of by Electoral Trust.
Let's read this para 10, which sums up what happened.
Yes, my lord. Para 10.
So till 2003, there was no equivalent of 80 GGB and 80 GGC.
Please, your lordships.
So at that time, therefore, these donations will not be covered by Section 37 of the Income Tax Act.
Yes, my lord. No, Section
37
13A.
is the expenditure clause.
My
They will
lord,
not be covered. It's not wholly.
the donor will not get, my lord, the exemption.
Donor will not get the exemption.
Yes, the political party is receiving, my lord,
They are exempt.
their income is exempted provided those conditions are met.
Satisfied.
But the donor will not get it.
Donor, it was not treated as expenditure in the hands of the donor.
Please, your lordship.
All right, so we got this 80 GGB.
Yes, my lord. So, my lord, in 2003, exemptions are given to the donors also, my lord.
Right.
So we can donate any amount of money, exemption, my lord. Now comes, my lord, 2009.
Yeah.
May I just explain the scheme, my lord? So 5 companies can create an electoral trust. The company makes a contribution to the electoral trust. It reflects that I have made a contribution to the electoral trust. My lord, those pages are here, my lord, unfortunately in here, to a electoral trust. The company's account will show that only. And, my lord, and the electoral trust must make 95% of its contribution to the political parties. It gets, my lord, deductions completely. So through that route, my lord, companies can make donation to the political parties.
Yes.
And 80GGB and 80GGC is also amended in 2009 to show, my lord, that any donor to the electoral trust also gets an exemption. And Lord, may only make a note, my lord, Rule 17CA of the income tax rules, my lord, makes the detailed provisions about how to electoral trust is to be function, my lord, maintain, etc. account details. So the scheme is, my lord, in 2009, you make an electoral trust, company make donation to the electoral trust, you get an exemption.
5 companies could set up an electoral trust.
That exactly has happened, my lord.
And was there any restraint on how the electoral trust should contribute to a political party, or they could contribute to
electoral
any
trust,
party?
but it has to mandatorily contribute 95%.
But was there a requirement of disclosure, maintaining accounts, etc.?
That is there in the rules, my lord, in 17CA.
Rule?
Rule 17CA of the income tax rules changed in 2013. The complete thing has been made in 2000.
So this provision was incorporated in 2000, was enacted in 2009.
Yes.
So the rules must have been made at that time itself.
Or they came at the first time?
I'm sorry, my lord, I couldn't get it.
The rules must have come in at that time itself. Was there any restriction as to the quantum of donation which should be given to a particular political party? Was it restricted on the basis of the electoral
No,
share?
basically, idea was, my lord, the corporate identity
share?
may not be disclosed.
No, that's fine.
So this is the route.
For the outgo, was there any restriction as to whom it should be across the board, or it was restricted only, it was complete? You had the option to go to give it to any political party.
Electoral trust, my lord, has to be, my lord, the formulation has to be approved by the income tax commissioner, etc. Rules have said.
No, but the point is,
Yes,
would
ma'am.
an electoral trust say that we are going to give money only to one political party?
Yes.
Or was there, let us see that rule. You
Yes,
said
ma'am.
Rule 17CA,
It can
Rule
be given
17.
to one party also.
one party also.
That I have the,
No, there was no restriction.
there was no restriction. Instead of 5 people differently donating,
They all
create
give
a
it to an
trust.
electoral trust.
There are some 28 trusts and that scheme still continues.
Right.
But
Yes.
it was found to be a non-starter.
It was that we
I'll
come
show
to
the
that,
figures.
but there was no restriction that you had to equally distribute
No.
or proportionately distribute.
No.
between
Like-minded people can come together, create a trust and donate to one party.
17CA.